Hi everybody, it's Ruth Backlund from Energy Works Myofascial Release. Yesterday I had the opportunity to attend a certification, a group exercise certification through NITA, and it was an all-day course, a lot of fitness, a lot of just general good exercise tips and how to set up fitness routines and things like that. I mean, things I've done in the past, but this is their official program. It's a good program. It's an accredited program. But we were talking a little bit about food as well. I mean, we know that when we are trying to get fit and lose weight, exercise is really only 20% of the battle. 80% of the battle for losing weight is your nutrition. How much you're eating, what kinds of food you're eating, things of that nature. And I'm one of those that doesn't like to focus so much on the food, and I'm willing to step out and do a little more activity, but realizing that, if you're going to want to get better results or faster results, you really need to balance both of them. And, so one of the things that kind of hit home for me was, there was a comment made about, how our eating patterns are. And, if we work all day long and we skip meals, that we're starving at night by the time we get home. A lot of times we hit the fast food restaurants on the way home because it's quick and convenient. We know it's not good for us, but we're starving, and, that's what's really driving us to pull into the drive-thru and grab some junk. It's quick and easy, and then you get home at the end of your day, and then you're done. You're not spending another hour trying to prep a meal and eating at 8, 9, 10 o'clock at night sometimes. Yes, that does happen, actually. Happens to me quite frequently. So, but what struck home for me was, are we training for a marathon? And if we're not training for a marathon, why do we eat so late at night? Because our body actually thinks we're training for a marathon. So if you've starved all day long, that's like the time frame at night when you would normally not be eating. And then if you get to the end of the day and all of a sudden you start eating a lot of food, and it's usually not a lot of good food because you're so hungry you're grabbing sweet things, things that have a lot of sugar or processed things, and you're eating large quantities of it because you're starving. You've starved all day long. Even if you've had meals along the way, you might be starving by the time you get home. And so if you're finishing up your last meal at, 8 or 9 o'clock at night, your body thinks you're getting ready for a marathon. And then you go to bed, within an hour or two. And what happens? Well, now you have all this food in your body, and where's it going to go? Well, you didn't run your marathon, so let's just store it all off as fat. So that was one of the things that kind of hit home for me yesterday. I mean, we've heard this all the time, right? I'm sure you all have. Food is fuel. Yeah, well, food is a lot of things, but food is fuel. Or don't eat, more than a 10-hour window throughout the day. You should have a time of fast, which is, that overnight time to, the morning time. There should be a long period where your body is actually not consuming because it's not overly active. And then the other, is to not eat real late at night. And we know this, and we tend to think, the things that we tend to grab when we want to snack at night are things that are usually high in sugar or starchy popcorn, things like that people love, and they just become a habit for us. So the next time that happens, I want you to think about, what time of day you're eating, what are you eating, and what time are you going to go to bed? If you think about those three things in combination, and then add on the layer of, okay, am I training for a marathon? And if I'm not training for a marathon, then what is my food choice going to be? Maybe I won't make that same food choice, and maybe I won't have anything at all. Maybe a glass of water is really what you should be having before you go to bed. So anyway, that was just a little piece that I wanted to share with you today. Eating for a marathon or not, I know I need to flip my eating cycle a bit, and I'm going to encourage you to do the same if that's a problem for you. So yeah, are you eating a marathon before you go to bed, or preparing to eat for a marathon before you go to bed? You might be, and it's actually very detrimental for you. So anyway, on to a healthier tomorrow, and hope you have a good one.